So, UFC 324 just went by, and King Hit MMA, will be reacting to each fight on the card that just happened. And yeah, let's get right into it. So, for the first fight on the card was Adam Fugit versus Ty Miller. Adam Fugit couldn't really get anything going. Ty Miller was just piecing him up that whole fight. And yeah, he was just getting his way. Adam Fugit threw a nice, nasty elbow. It was all right, but Ty Miller was just doing too much damage, and then he put that right down the middle. So yeah, that was a good win for Ty Miller. And before I go on to the next one, there wasn't much I'm going to say about this fight. I do like that the UFC is giving 25 grand regardless of how they finish them. I think that's a great way of getting finishes more often. So yeah. Anyway, we'll go on to the next fight. The next fight, Josh Hokett versus Denzel Freeman. Denzel Freeman literally threw 7 strikes. Or, wow, 0 strikes, this says. But I think he threw about 7, missed all of them. Hokett was going in for the double leg. He was piecing him up. He hurt Denzel Freeman heaps of times, and I don't know what the hell Freeman was doing this whole fight. But yeah, man, I can't believe that Hokett went as far as, saying the N-word on Paramount Plus. That's a crazy thing to do. So yeah, that's a good win for Hokett. I am excited for him as a heavyweight prospect. He is doing his own little thing. I thought maybe he's just trying to directly copy Chael or Colby. He is a little bit, but yeah. And for Denzel Freeman, I don't know. Give him the freaking bottom of the bottom. That was a fucking terrible performance. He's had 2 terrible performances. I could see the UFC cutting him, but I say we feed him to someone shit. And for Josh Hokett, he's going to be on the UFC card 100%. So yeah. I reckon we get him on that. So good win for Josh Hokett. And for the next fight, man, oh man. How do I... So this is my guarantee of the card. Charles Johnson. I thought, man, he's looking like a good up-and-comer. He's the dark horse of flyweight. Gets fucking rattled in the first minute of the first round. Alex Perez being a crafty vet, that just... He rocked him too hard, and basically Charles Johnson tried to recover, but he couldn't do it, and basically just Alex Perez sent him to the Shadow Realm and got a nasty knockout over Johnson. So yeah, that's a good win for Perez. I don't know what Johnson does. I guess he has to recover from that, because it did look nasty. It did look terrible. He was on jelly legs the whole time. For Perez, I'd like to see him, I don't know, maybe a Steve Erceg or even the Tim Elliott, because obviously we're not getting the Tim Elliott fight with Steve Erceg, so maybe just around that. I don't want to see Alex Perez go up too much. He was on a pretty bad losing streak before. He's 2-4. I don't know if he's retiring or what he's doing, but yeah, good win for Perez. And yeah. That's it. That's all I got to say. For the next fight, bro, this is like one of the piss breaks. Nikita Krylov was, he was throwing strikes, staying on the outside, keeping a bit loose, while Modestas was throwing at air, basically. He did hit Nikita Krylov a few times, but it was like a staring contest a lot of the time. To Bukakis, he tried to throw a few heavy shots, but he was just missing, and he looked terrible in this whole fight. Like, this whole fight, he looked terrible. Bukakis basically threw a big overhand right, and in the last literally 10 seconds of the round, Krylov catches him with the nastiest overhand right, and shuts him, knocks him out, clean out. So yeah. It's a good win for Krylov. Screw Bukakis. I'm never choosing him again. A guy that came from middleweight. who couldn't even knock out middleweights. I should have, yeah. Anyway, his best win was bloody Paul Craig. For Nikita Krylov, I guess he's got to fight like the middle of light heavyweight. I could see him fighting who could we give him? We could give him Jamal Hill. That's actually interesting. We could do Jamal Hill for Nikita Krylov. So yeah, I like that. And for Bukowskis, he can go fucking fight in the unrankings of light heavyweight after that performance. That was pathetic. Not the worst performance on the card, but yeah, I'll get to that. Anyway, for the next fight, we saw Gaethje finally go to a decision. We saw him get tested. He's a bit like, he has that Jamal Hill sort of footwork, like just coming forward. Pulev definitely took a round off, but obviously every shot that was landing was hurting Gaethje. And I think, like, it was good to see, like, he did stay composed at least. And yeah, he was shooting real short with his punches, but at least, like, he'll learn from this and they've got a lot to work on. But I really don't think Gaethje is ready for the top 15. Like I said, a Joe Pyfer would get Gaethje, or a G-Rod, or a DLC, not DLC, CLD would get him. But Pulev had a pretty good plan. He actually did all right. He didn't win the fight. He did outstrike him, but damage makes up for it. Pulev's lost to only two of the big up and comers in the middleweight division, so I'd like to see him fight again. It was an entertaining fight. And for Ateba, I'd like to see him fight just under the top 15, fringe of top 20. Is Shara in the top 15? No. I'd like to see Ateba fight like a Ikram Aliskirov. That could be cool. So yeah, good win for Tabor. We saw him get tested. But yeah, anyway, on to the next one. Oh boy, fucking bantamweight's starting to look pretty shit for contenders. Because if you honestly, Umar dominated the whole fight, but the fact he just laid and prayed, it was ridiculous. And Davidson, I don't even know what he's doing in there. He's legitimately just in there for a paycheck at this point. I'll put this up. But yeah, man, Umar looked good in the striking, but mainly he used his grappling to nullify Figueiredo. Figueiredo did try to get up a few times, but with that performance, it's you're supposed to be a minus 1,600 underdog, and you just lay on him, which is it's just kind of terrible. You know what I mean? And you lose your title shot from that. I don't think Umar should be getting the bantamweight title shot. I don't think the other person should be getting the title shot, who I'll be talking about soon. But yeah, for Umar, I guess I'd like to see him fight Sean O'Malley. Spoiler alert. And for Davidson, I'd like to see him retire, because there's no point in you staying in fighting unless you really need money. So yeah, I guess that's a good win for Umar. And yeah, on to the next. Start of the main card, we have Arnold Allen versus Sean Silva. This was a banger fight. Loved it. Jean looked more composed. He was real slow with starting, but overall he looked good. Arnold Allen took that first round, and then Sean Silva, he could have went a little bit more wilder, but he did. He was composed with his wildness and the way he was striking. He's a really good featherweight, man. I do underestimate Sean Silva. And for Arnold Allen, he looks pretty good for a year and a half off. For Arnold Allen, he doesn't lose too much stock from this loss. It was a very close fight, I thought. 29-28. For Arnold Allen, I'd like to see him fight someone in the top 10, top 12 maybe. I think top 10, like a Steve Garcia, could be really cool. And Jean Silva, a top 5 opponent would be cool. Everyone's pretty much booked though. I guess you could fight someone that's next to you, or even maybe a Yair. But yeah, good win for Sean Silver and Arnold Allen. That was a good fight. And yeah, it's good to see the featherweight rankings move. Anyway, on to the next one. First robbery of the night. Like, oh, Jesus. Anyway, first robbery of the night. I rewatched the fight and I still think Rose won, even though she got outstruck totally in the third round. Rose, Natalia was basically doing the samba. You know what I mean? Like, she was just dancing and not throwing anything for that first round. And then Rose, like, targeting her on the outside, did the same thing in the second round. Did she take her down? I think she took her down. And in that third round, Natalia took over, but like I thought a little bit too late. Like, let's see the rounds. Yeah, Rose did more. She... Oh, okay. I definitely thought Rose threw more and put on more pressure. I guess the 15 strikes. Yeah, Rose definitely put on more strikes, got a takedown in round 2. I guess you can go down to that first round, but yeah, I guess it's a good win for Natalia Silva. But I still think Rose won the fight. It's not that big of a robbery. It doesn't matter. She will be fighting Valentina. So, yeah, good win for Natalia. And for Rose, I guess she just fights someone in the top 10. And, yeah. And for the next one, fuck, this performance... This really disappointed me, this fight. The first round was all Derek's. Like, I was thinking, man, Derek's actually looking good in this fight. He took the first round. Like, if we look at it says the strikes, but, like, I don't know where they get these strikes from, man. Anyway, that first round was definitely Derek's, but then he was just getting tired, and I thought he was looking good. Like, I thought he was looking, like, fit and stuff. But as soon as that second round came, he was just... looking terrible. Like, in the first round, you could see he was on his back and didn't want to get up. I think Derek Lewis doesn't have it anymore, man. And that I feel bad for Waldo Cortez Acosta, because that just sullies his... Like, it nullifies the performance, which it really shouldn't. Like, yeah, you did beat Derek Lewis, but Derek Lewis isn't in it anymore. Like, this ain't the Derek Lewis of old, and people might say Derek Lewis has always kind of been like that. I don't think so. I think Derek Lewis is just... I don't think he's in it anymore. His heart's in it. So, good win for Waldo. Derek, I think he has to retire after that performance. He has to look at himself in the mirror and accept that he's done fighting. So, yeah, I'd like to see Waldo fight Volkov for the number 1 contender for ship fight. I think that's sick. But, yeah, this is pretty pathetic from Derek Lewis. And for Waldo... good on ya. So yeah, on to the next. Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong. I thought Song Yadong won this too. This is the worst one, I reckon. I'll watch this fight back. So look at the stats right here, right? 69 and 3 takedowns. So 1 and 2. Well, people say 1's very close. Well, the strikes say that Song was outstriking Sean O'Malley in the first round and got a takedown in the last 30. Round 1 goes to Song. This is... I just saw it going to O'Malley, not because I thought he won, because, they rig this shit all the time for O'Malley. They've done it before. But yeah, man, listen, I think they really did fuck over the Republic of China. I'm not kidding. Like, it was crazy. Round 1 and 2 go to Song, and then round 3 was obviously Sean. Sean took over and started piecing him up, really damaging him. And if they really went over damage over a whole fight, then I guess Sean would have won the fight. But still, I think, like, Song won this fight. It was like this... It was close, but it wasn't close enough to say Sean won the fight. For Sean to call for a title shot afterwards is fucking insane. I think he should fight Umar for a number 1 contender, and then Merab should get his rematch, which it makes all the sense in the world. I thought Sean was going to lose that fight, and I was going to be like, damn, we're going to get to see him fight Peyton Talbot or somebody, which would be cool. But I guess I just see the UFC giving Piotr the Sean fight for the second time, which is ridiculous. I didn't think Sean won that fight. So, yeah. Anyway, I guess I'm not going to say a good win for Sean because I don't think he won that fight. But, yeah. Anyway, I hope for Song, I guess he could fight someone in the middle again. You know, he could fight Peyton Talbot. He is an up-and-comer. Or he could fight someone in that mid-rankings. He's nearly fought everyone. Or he could fight Davidson Figueiredo. That makes sense. Yeah. Anyway, I'll do that in my other video. And for the main event, fucking fire, bro. And you called me crazy. People call me crazy on Instagram. I've had people comment saying, hey, you are insane for thinking Paddy's no good. I never said Paddy was no good. I made a whole video saying, hey, this is how Paddy can win and this is how Justin can win. And guess what? It's exactly how I predicted it. I said Justin is better in a 5-round fight. I said Justin uses his smart brawly style, which he did in his fight. He nearly finished Paddy 3 times. And like, it just shows, man. Like, he really, like, Justin really did show the Justin of old. You know, he was a little off balance. He was looking good. Like, and I just never thought Paddy was ready for the higher epsilons. But I still do give credit to Paddy. Like, Paddy really did show that he is a top 10 contender. Top 5? Maybe not. But top 10? Yeah, he is a top 10 contender. He took 2 rounds off Justin, even though I reckon those first 2 rounds are 10-8s. But yeah, he showed that he can hang in, you know, like getting beat the fuck out of, but he can hang in there with Justin, and it was a good performance from both men, especially Justin, especially because I said Justin's going to stick to a game plan, and he stuck to the game plan that, you know, I predicted that if he did this game plan, he did. Except the takedowns. I never thought he'd go for a takedown. This is the first time I've seen Justin actually utilize takedowns and punch on the inside with those takedowns. So yeah, this was a really good performance from Justin Gaethje. You know, we get to see him get slimed out by Tafoya. I'm sorry, bro, but maybe Justin's got a chance. About 5% of a chance, but maybe he's got a chance. And for Paddy, I think I want to see him versus the winner of BSD versus Dan Hooker. I think that makes a lot of sense. Him and Dan Hooker have some real bad blood. And if BSD wins that Dan Hooker fight, man, that'd be a sick fight too. Because BSD and Paddy Pimblett have a very similar style when it comes to grappling. And the striking would be good too. So yeah. Overall, this whole card's been alright. Justin Gaethje is the new interim lightweight champ. We lost 3 fights, which I will discuss. Let's discuss it up here. Cameron Smotherman, we knew he not dropped off the stage, but that was pretty bad. Like, you can't obviously fight after you fucking have a seizure off your weight. And then, man, the fight I was most excited for, Michael Johnson versus Alexander Hernandez. Apparently there's a betting line going. There's a weird betting thing going on, so they cancelled that fight. But if you ever looked at all of Alexander Hernandez's betting lines, it's always switched over. So maybe something's going on with Alexander Hernandez. I don't know. But, bro, both of his last opponents, they just don't look like fake fucking, you know, like getting knocked. Like, he knocks those dudes out. So I don't know what's going on there. And obviously with Kayla Harrison, what happened there was she had a bulging disc that could have paralyzed her. So I hope she does okay. I thought she legitimately, like, you know, I thought she quit. But yeah, she had to have emergency surgery. So hopefully they can rebook the Amanda Nunes fight. She was there that night in good spirits with her daughters. So yeah, overall, I went 9-11. That's not bad for the card. You know what we can say? Friggin'. I reckon I would have got those other 3 fights right. You scored me crazy though. I can't believe you were saying Justin Gaethje was going to get smoked, which was insane. But yeah, let's count who won, who I got right. I got Ty Miller right. I got Josh Hokett right. I got Alex Perez wrong. Sorry, I nearly said right. I got Charles Johnson wrong. I got Modestus Bukalkas wrong. And these are the only two I got wrong. I got the Tabor right. I got Umar right. I got Jean right. I got Natalia Silva right. I got Waldo right. I got Sean right. And I got, obviously, Gaethje right. 9-11, not too bad. Hey, listen. I will be making the fights to make next video probably the next day or even tonight. You know, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. You know, come to the Instagram. The Instagram's live. We're almost at 50 followers. And, you know, I always appreciate it. But, yeah. And I'll see you all later. Thanks. Bye.